What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we need to discuss additional checks. I want to talk about for the $1,400 stimulus checks. I want to talk about new $1,000 stimulus checks as well, because right now what we are seeing is that more stimulus is coming out. We know that right now our federal government is not going to be sending out additional stimulus checks. We've been seeing this for months. This is not going to happen at this time. They're saying we are going through a full economic recovery. Jobs are coming back. The American people, we are now saving more money than ever before, and so things are good. But that's not the case everywhere. Yes, in some cities, in some states, we are seeing that, yes, things are looking up, but in others, they're not. So, here's what I can tell you. There are still more $1,400 stimulus checks. Now, these are not new checks. These are the same checks that went out back in March of 2021. Here's what I can tell you. The IRS has stated they've sent out all of the $1,400 stimulus checks to people that they believe qualified. However, the IRS does know that people always fall through the cracks, so they are going to issue those $1,400 stimulus checks to people that didn't receive theirs back in 2021. So if you were one of those people, if your child didn't get their $1,400 stimulus check, then they will get it in the upcoming tax return. All right? Also, if your stimulus check was cut for whatever reason, maybe the IRS just assumed you were making too much money, well, you can still get that money back. You can get the difference if you actually qualified for the full payment. So just keep that in mind that yes, there are still $1,400 stimulus checks that are coming out, but no, they are not new. These are the existing checks that were promised under President Biden. Now, here's what I really want to get to. What we are hearing is that many states are really upset. They're concerned with our federal government and not being able to pass parts of the Build Back Better Act. So some states are actually looking into sending out new stimulus checks. They want to prioritize parents and low-income households, college students, people on fixed income like Social Security recipients. And right now, what we are hearing is that more and more states and cities are planning on passing some legislation to provide these payments. Now, I don't know when many of these states are going to do it. I don't know when some of these cities are going to, kind of get up and start working. But as of right now, one city, and a major city, is already planning on sending $500 to $1,000 monthly payments to new mothers. Now, just to give you an idea, in New York City, a new bill, it's called the Bridge Project. This was just recently introduced. This would provide 500 first-time mothers with a $500 to a $1,000 monthly payment for a full 3 years. 3 years. Currently, there's already a program that's in place, and it's providing 100 mothers with these payments. This actually has been going since, I believe, June or July of this past year. So, this program is actually being considered for expansion because of the role it has had in the communities. This new program would actually send payments to new mothers in lower income neighborhoods. So this is how it's going to prioritize them. You have to be a new mother, you have to live in a low income neighborhood, and you obviously have to qualify based off of your income. Okay? So the reason I bring this up, and I understand this is not going to help everybody watching this channel. Everybody watching this video isn't going to get some of this money. But here's the reason I bring this up. There's so much, so many issues that are going on with our federal government, with Congress, that states are tired of waiting. And states are waiting to see what passes in the government funding bill so that they know how they can spend their emergency money that they received last year in part of that $350 billion fund. So states have money. It's kind of just sitting there, but they're waiting for answers from the federal government to determine what they could ultimately pass or what they should pass. Now, The reason this is so important is because as states become more frustrated with our federal government, what we're going to see is more and more states are going to pass some form of stimulus, whether it's a stimulus check, it's money for single parents, or money for the elderly or college students, or additional grants for students. It could be something for schools, right? It could be something for help people that are unemployed, right? There's so many different programs that could actually be put out there. So here's another one. Single mothers in Birmingham, Alabama. You can apply to get $375 per month for 1 full year. However, you're on a time crunch now because today is February 5th. You have until February 7th, so in just 2 days, to apply for this program before it closes the application process. So you might want to hurry if this applies to you. In Philadelphia, they will soon start a guaranteed income program that will provide people, up to 60 people, with $500 per month. This is going to begin in March. Now, the nice thing about this is the program's going to last for 1 full year. This is one of those kind of pilot programs that we've seen. They usually offer it to a small group of people, like 60 to 100 people. See how this actually benefits those families, or the people in the community, and the community itself. And if the economy is doing pretty well, if these families are seeing some benefits, then yes, they may continue this for more than just 1 year. It might not be the same families, but they would likely continue it. Now, I have some more big news in just a second, and this actually pertains to the biggest one of the biggest pilot programs, one of the biggest guaranteed income programs. So make sure you stick around for that. But first, I want to explain why more and more cities and states are looking into guaranteed income programs versus just putting their money into the state-funded packages, like maybe anything for the welfare programs. Because for years, government agencies, government funding welfare programs were seen as the go-to. This was the best way to provide for lower income households, to provide assistance, and it worked. But here's where things changed. In recent years, especially with the pandemic, it has actually been discovered, right, that these government programs simply restrain people's abilities to provide for themselves. They're likely to help keep them and keep those people and families in poverty. And because of the past 2 years where we've sent out a $1,200 stimulus check, a $600 stimulus check, a $1,400 stimulus check, $600 per week for unemployment benefits on top of your actual state benefits. Then it went down to $300 per week. There was PPP funding. There was an EIDL loan that you didn't even have to pay back. So a lot of additional stimulus has gone out over the past 2 years. And guess what has happened? It's given the American people more money. It's given them the ability to save some. We now, according to experts, we now are saving more money than ever before. Now the savings rate is actually falling, but it's higher than what it was during the January, February, and even early March of 2020. So that's considered really good news. But that's the issue, is how do we shift from providing SNAP benefits, housing assistance, affordable housing assistance, utility payments, right? How do we go from that to moving the money into a different direction? For example, guaranteed income programs. So let's talk about the biggest guaranteed income program and why what they're seeing in Chicago is potentially what we could see here in the United States very soon. Right after Halloween, the Chicago Mayor Lightfoot, she said that they would spend $31.5 million to help out 5,000 families in need. They would actually receive $500 a month for 1 full year. Well, as of February 1st, and again, we're at February 5th right now. As of February 1st, not a single payment has gone out. To make matters even worse, not a single application has been accepted. And the reason for this is because the city is trying to reach all four corners of the city. They want the funds to be spread out, and they don't just want to benefit one specific location or one specific group. Now, here's the reason why this could impact us here in the United States. What they're seeing in Chicago is there's more issues, more bureaucratic issues. Right now, some want to see that this money just goes out immediately, which would be great. It'd help out families now or even months ago. Others say, no, let's be strategic. Let's make sure the money's going to different neighborhoods so that we can impact everybody. Our entire economy will be impacted, not just a specific location where they have the hardest hit individuals, the lowest income families. And so if that's what we see across the United States, people in Washington, Oregon, Montana, Idaho, they would start getting payments. People in Texas, right, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, you got New York, you got other states up there, you got people in the middle as well, right? That would be the issue, is how do you go and split up the money? Do you split it up based off of population? Do you split it up based off of how the state's economy is doing? And again, that's the other issue is, okay, what we're seeing in Chicago, it's not a small city, but it's very minimal compared to what we'd see across the entire United States. So that's the other issue, is we're just going to see more lawmakers fighting for what they want, fighting for their specific states, when in reality we need to fight for everybody. So again, this is where we're at. Some states, some cities are trying to push money through as quickly as possible. Others say, no, we got to be strategic. We got to make sure it goes to the right individuals. So that's kind of what we're seeing with this, with our federal government as well. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but that is what we know at this time. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.